As you're watching this video right now, there's some man on this earth that's contemplating whether or not he should live. He's definitely thinking about should he take his life or not. And that's the current state of most men. Most men are battling some type of mental health issue and they're suffering in silence. And society, for the majority of times, doesn't really care, bro. They do not care about men's health issues. And what we need to know is this is expanding. It's happening more and more and more and more. So many men are lost, they're hopeless, they're anxious, they're depressed, and they don't want to live anymore. And there's so many different reasons why, and that's what we continue to do here at Men Are Needed. We continue to speak on these and bring light and shed light to this issue. So the first thing that I want to start with this is what we need to know is that if you're battling something, you're not alone right now, brother. So many of us are feeling this. So many of us can relate. So many of us have went through these symptoms, shown these symptoms, and you're not alone, first of all. So I guess the biggest one we should start with is men wanting to take their life. This is happening. Men want to self-delete. And there's so many different reasons why. A lot of men feel lonely. A lot of men aren't seen. A lot of men are depressed because they're going to work and they're working all these hours and they're not getting anything on the back end. They can't get a woman. So then they might be dealing with some type of trauma prior to that. So all this combination is making men feel sad. It's making them feel down. It's not really truly making them feel happy. And they have no joy and they have no peace within themselves. So this can kind of definitely be difficult, especially as men, because we're trying to find our way in a society where we're being taught we can't even be masculine. So it's going against our inherent nature. It's like a woman trying to go out into society and they're not really getting any validation or any attention. They're going to lose their way because women, they need attention and they need validation. So if they're not getting that and they're told that you can't, just imagine if a woman's going into society and being told that you can't get any attention and you can't seek validation from men. They're going to lose their way too. And that's how we are as men. We're being told we can't have any masculinity. We can't have standards. We can't tell women, look, this is what we want. And the moment we do that, we're being looked at as misogynists. And, we can't embrace our true testosterone or aggression. We can't voice how we feel. So for the majority of us, this is the biggest problem that we're going to battle because we're trying to find our way. And this in itself makes you depressed because you can't find your purpose. And then on top of that, when you try to relate, you try to find people that will try to relate to you. And most people don't want to relate to you. So what ends up happening for the majority of men is they'll keep all this pain and suffering inside. And they're being told that you got to be a man. You got to be a man. Just be quiet, toughen up, and be a man. So most men can't verbalize and they can't communicate how they're feeling. So when they ask for help, 9 times out of 10, their pride gets in the way because they've been told at a young age, you can't even ask for help. You're supposed to just man up and do it. So if you can't ask for help and you feel like you got to suffer in silence, you have to do all this in silence, you don't want to live anymore, bro, because it makes you depressed because you're like, man, nobody's coming to save me. Nobody wants to help me. Nobody truly cares. I'm trying to voice how I feel and it seems like nobody cares in this society. Nobody really has my back. And that's one of the biggest problems. And that's what we need to know. Here at Men Are Needed, we're trying to build a community and we're not perfect. I acknowledge that. We sometimes here in this community, we expose truths that sometimes are not the best because sometimes it'll expose female nature or it'll tell men to continually self-improve. And it's all goes in tangent with one another. But we have to continue to speak about these topics and let people know that men are in crisis right now and then give them solutions. We can continue to speak about this and just complain. But at some point, we have to give our brothers some solutions so that they can feel like they can go out into this world and get over the depression and their loneliness and anxiousness. So I wanted to get that out there. So I think for collectively, we as men, especially if we're battling some type of, let's just say, as loneliness right now, there's so many different reasons why you could be lonely. There's so many different reasons why you need to start analyzing what's the solution here. What can we do to try to overcome this loneliness? Because for a majority of us, this epidemic in itself is a crisis for most men because they can't get a woman and they're acknowledging this truth. So how do we overcome this? How do we get past this? And how do we get to a point to where us as society can start having something to look forward to, especially as a man, because So many of us want to self-delete because you're waking up and you're doing the same thing over and over and over. You have nothing to truly look forward to. And this is making you really, really down, bro. And it can make you want to run to the bottles. It can make you want to run to the drugs. So I think as men, we have to explore different solutions, and we need to know that this is a problem. Men being lonely is a problem. Men dealing with depression is a problem. Depression at sometimes can really overcome you. It makes you feel stuck. It makes you feel down. You feel like this, you can't even move. You don't want to move. You don't want to go out into this world. You just want to sleep all day. You have like this dark cloud around you, bro. And I've been there before. I felt depression. I've been at a low moment. You may be at your rock bottom right now, but you're not alone. And that's why I started this video. I need you to know that you're not alone. This is a battle that the majority of us will face. The majority of us will feel pain. The majority of us will feel suffering, hurt, we'll get our heart broken. And all this will lead to sometimes a negative mindset. But as men, we have to understand that 90% of the time, we're not going to have the best, most positive thoughts. But it's important for us to learn how to use our mind properly and determine whether or not this thought is being beneficial, or if this thought is continuing the loop of us being down and depressed. In order for us as men to get over this mental health crisis, we have to first explore different techniques to use our mind properly, because it's mental health, and the mindset is a big problem because most men, like I said, they don't verbalize it, and then they don't want to seek therapy. So for some men, it might be beneficial for you to seek therapy, bro, because you could go talk to people in a professional environment, at least, where you don't think this person would judge you. And that's a lot of men, they don't want to feel judged. They don't want to feel like they let people down. And maybe that's the route that you need to explore. Maybe that's what you need to do. Because I know a lot of men that went to therapy and they've healed, bro. They've actually healed. Or, you know, you can go to a pastor, you can see God, and you can get in communication with God. I think there's different ways for us to overcome this. But the mental health, man, it can be, bro, you know, like I know, if you're battling right now, leave a comment. If you're feeling like you don't want to live anymore, it's difficult. It really is difficult to find that light when you're searching for it, because this world 9 times out of 10 will not allow you to find it, bro. And I know that as men, we have great potential, man. We have great potential to do amazing things, but sometimes we just get stagnant. And you know what the big thing is right now, and I hope this can touch one brother, is our veterans. They go to war and then they come home and they're being taken for granted. For most men, they can't get a woman. They're dealing with some type of PTSD because they went over there, they fought for our country, and is really struggling. They come back and they're really struggling with some type of sense of fitting back into being normal, because especially that, and then when you go to jail, a lot of jail guys would deal with this too. They go to jail and then they come back here and they have a hard time fitting back in and being normal in society. And this is a big problem, brother. So I know if you're battling this, there's different brotherhoods, there's different communities that you can join, but I think it's important for you to explore that and for you to try to find a brotherhood of men and a tribe of community that will help you along the process, that can relate to you, that can give you some type of empathy, some type of sympathy, and really be there for you, man. Sometimes you just want to be seen. Sometimes you just want to be heard. And I think that's a lot of it, bro. If you want to be seen, if you want to be heard, leave a comment down below. You're not alone. We can continue to discuss these topics. We can continue to help each other out. We can continue to build each other up and give each other love and let you know that, yeah, your mind, you might be bipolar, you might be schizo, you might be contemplating whether or not you want to live or not, but you're not alone, bro. We're all in this together as men, and we need more men to understand that. You need to sometimes help each other out, bro. It's not always about you. Sometimes it's about the greater good. It's about us collectively as men, so that we won't continue to lose our way in society and continue to be lost. I want you to know that right now is our time, brother. Right now is our moment to shine. We need to continue to shine our light and show each other what's possible if we unite. We need to unite, man. I don't care what nobody says. You might sometimes get in your feelings because some of the videos that I talk about may not resonate with you. But overall, my message is to help men out. And if you have a message that you want to help men and self-improve, join the community, be a part of what we're trying to do here, and leave comments. Help each other out. It's important. For some of you guys have been doing that, and I thank you. Some of you guys have been reaching out to other brothers informing each other what they've been doing, leaving comments, and that's powerful. And that's great. The more we can do this, the more we'll rise. The more we show one brother that's down right now, you can have something to look forward to. This is just a time period. This is a moment in time. Try to live in the present moment. Try to self-improve. Try to raise your frequency. Try to forgive yourself. Try to heal yourself. Try to just do one small step that will put you in a different position than you're currently at now. Try to continue to use your mind to learn, read books, gain knowledge, and seek what makes you happy in this life. There's multiple ways for us to overcome this mental health crisis, but I think just talking about this and just, exploring this and just speaking about it, I think is therapy for me sometimes too, because I go out in these communities, I see how men are hurting, I see how men are struggling, and it gets in my mind. So sometimes I just got to express it to you guys. I got to let you guys know, man, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm thinking, so that somebody can watch this and maybe they can relate. Maybe they can feel what I'm saying and be like, you know what? I hear what he's saying. I'm going to spread this message to somebody else. I'm going to go help somebody else. And that's all we need, bro, is to pay it forward. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Until next time, peace.